The live-action Snow White remake has been one of Disney's most controversial projects in recent memory. From the moment it was announced, the film faced backlash over casting decisions, creative changes, and the outspoken comments of its lead actress, Rachel Zegler. But what makes this story even more fascinating is the silence that followed from one of its biggest stars, Gal Gadot, who played the evil queen. For months, Gadot kept quiet while the controversy swirled. Now, she's finally broken her silence, and what she has to say adds a new layer to Disney's ongoing struggles. Snow White was supposed to be another billion-dollar live-action success, joining the ranks of Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. Instead, it became one of the studio's most public failures. The movie cost an eye-watering $200 million to produce, with another $100 million spent on marketing. Yet, despite this massive investment, the film brought in just over $200 million at the box office, a financial disaster for Disney and a humiliating stumble for a company already under pressure. But the numbers only tell part of the story. Behind those disappointing figures lies a perfect storm of bad press, internet outrage, and a cultural debate that turned a fairy tale into a battlefield. And at the center of it all was Rachel Zegler. Zegler, cast as Snow White, quickly became a lightning rod for criticism. In interviews before the release, she dismissed the original 1937 classic as outdated, calling the prince a stalker and openly criticizing the romantic storyline. Her comments struck a nerve, especially with Disney fans who cherished the original. Social media erupted, with clips of her interviews going viral across TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. Many accused her of being ungrateful and disrespectful to the legacy of the character she was supposed to embody. The backlash was relentless. Memes, parodies, and reaction videos flooded the internet. Even mainstream media picked up the story, framing Zegler as an out-of-touch star who had alienated Disney's core audience. Things got so bad that every time her name trended, it was usually attached to another viral criticism. The controversy became bigger than the film itself. To make matters worse, the cultural tide had already begun to turn against Disney's live-action strategy. Audiences were growing tired of remakes, and many critics accused the studio of prioritizing political messaging over good storytelling. Zegler's comments seemed to confirm that narrative in the eyes of frustrated fans. Snow White, once marketed as the fairest of them all, was now being ridiculed as one of Disney's most tone-deaf projects. The ridicule reached new heights when The Simpsons joined the conversation. In a widely shared episode, the long-running animated show spoofed Disney's Snow White debacle, mocking both Zegler's remarks and the film's dismal box office returns. For a property to be parodied on The Simpsons is a sign it has truly entered pop culture infamy, and not in a flattering way. Through all of this, Gal Gadot remained silent. The Israeli actress, best known for playing Wonder Woman, had been cast as the evil queen, a pivotal role in the film. Yet, while Zegler became the face of the backlash, Gadot kept her distance, avoiding public comments and refusing to get drawn into the storm. That silence led many to speculate, was she distancing herself from the project? Did she disagree with her co-star? Or was Disney simply keeping her on a tight leash to avoid adding more fuel to the fire? Now, months later, Gadot has finally spoken. In a recent interview, she addressed the Snow White controversy directly, offering a rare glimpse into her perspective. Carefully choosing her words, she praised the legacy of the original film and acknowledged the challenges of reimagining such a beloved classic. Importantly, she avoided criticizing Zegler outright, instead framing her own role as one of respect for tradition while still embracing the creative risks of a modern retelling. It was a diplomatic response, but one that immediately set her apart from her younger co-star. Her comments have reignited debate about the film, with many praising Gadot's professionalism and subtle shade. Some fans even suggested she would have been a better spokesperson for the project all along, someone capable of defending Disney's choices without alienating audiences. At the very least, her remarks provided Disney with a desperately needed bit of positive press after months of negativity. But the damage has already been done. Snow White will go down in history as one of Disney's biggest missteps, a case study in how not to handle PR in the age of social media. For Rachel Zegler, the fallout may take years to overcome. For Gal Gadot, however, her measured silence and carefully timed words may have preserved her reputation, even as the film around her crumbled. As Disney looks to the future, the lesson is clear: audiences want authenticity, respect for the stories they love, and stars who know how to connect without condescension. Whether the studio will learn from this failure remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: this fairy tale did not get its happily ever after.